that.
All
So
right, there you go. Appreciate it. All right, hello everybody. This is Mike the Biz here with Tito, and this is the Death Lock Podcast. Sunday, February the 2nd, and we are post Royal Rumble, guys. So again, appreciate you guys who are coming in and watching the video. If you guys aren't already subscribed, check out the channel and smash the like button if you can. If you watch the replay, comment down below. Let us know what you guys think. But yeah, what's up, Tito? How's it going, man?
oh man, it was good. Last night was good. I love because like my vocals is kind of messed up. I was yelling at the
Yeah.
TV.
No, definitely, and we are trying a different format here. I'm trying to steal your thunder on the format here because I know you've been kind of experimenting with it also on your end on your channel. So I'm just like, man, let's see. I think the last time I did go live on here, I did get like 50 people watching in this format. Like
Gene,
so.
Gene has popped in.
We get
Yay!
Gene. All right, hold on. Let me turn on. Let me see if I can turn on the chat overlay. It's gonna look a little bit different here. There you go. There we go. What's up, Gene? Thanks again for joining in. Really appreciate you being here today. I'm going to go ahead and send Bill Heyman the link here so you can check it out. And, hopefully everyone's doing good tonight, man. But again, Tito, since we haven't really been live streaming consistently, right? I just want to ask, how are you doing? How's everything with you? And before we get everything going.
Yeah, so I'll apologize to everybody. Like, my scheduling has been so off on anything that I do on social media. I just been winding down from traveling in the middle of January. I took a trip out to go see my dad. I'm going back there, I think next month or the month after, to start looking for a house.
Yeah.
And then once I have the house pretty much secured, I'm actually moving out Midwest to Oklahoma. So I'm going to be living in the Midwest. So we'll be in the same time zone.
That's pretty crazy. So you are moving to Oklahoma then?
Yeah.
Somewhere out there, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's for sure happening now. The only thing that sucks though is I was looking for to see if my T-Mobile home internet would work out there, and it says it will. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited.
I mean, I'm sure there's plenty. I know you said that your dad lives out somewhat in a rural area.
Yep.
But yeah, man, let's hopefully everything's good there, man. I'm wishing you the best on the move. I know that's gonna be a lot, right? Because you have a big family, so. Good luck there, man. But yeah, guys, let's get into the Rumble 2025 talk. I mean, we have a lot to talk about, and we're only going to be live streaming for about an hour, right? Tito's limited on time today, and so am I somewhat. So yeah, guys, 2025 Royal Rumble. Let's start off. We'll go in the order of matches that it started with, right? Which the show did start off with the Women's Rumble match. Your thoughts, Tito?
Man, so. Aside from the behind the scenes dirt that everyone kind of is starting to pick up on with the return of a certain somebody, I am excited and happy that a certain somebody returned. And no, I'm not talking about Charlotte Flair. And yes, we know that she won. Obviously, she was going to win. But I'm talking about the return of Alexa Bliss. And I love that she brought the Lily doll. So I went bananas over Alexa's return, but for the most part, the women's Rumble match to me, first of all, it was quite lengthy, right? Compared to the men's?
Actually, it went over an hour. I think it did go over time. I think it hit almost an hour and a half, actually.
Yeah, that was quite a bit of time that they had. Good moments, though. I mean, good moments. You had the cliche moments too, right? Like the girls ganging up on Nia Jax and she just explodes, throwing them all off of her. And I really wouldn't say too much of Legends Returned.
I'm kind of glad that they're kind of, aside from Nikki Bella and Trish Stratus, right? Those are really the only two Legends we got. And of course, the unfortunate one that, a lot of people were wanting was AJ Lee in the chat. Hey, look, we got Person in the house. What's going on, Person? Thanks again for joining in, Person.
Person,
Person, and that's what's up. But anyways, we had Trish Stratus, which she's still very relevant. She had a good run a couple years back in 2023 for about 6 months, and we know she can still go on the ring, and she kind of impressed this year. Again, Nikki Bella, which I don't know if she's going to be returning to in-ring competition full time. We'll see how that goes, but other notable people that did come out, right? We had a few NXT talents come out. Roxanne Perez, who who's from the 956. By the way, she's from my area, where I live. She was under Booker T's Reality Wrestling. So yeah, man, it was an interesting rumble, female rumble. I think a lot of people were disappointed though because obviously Charlotte, she's been out pretty much about a year, right? But I knew once we saw vignettes of Charlotte, coming in that she was going to win it. And a lot of people were upset. But here's the thing about that, okay? Who else would you want Rhea at WrestleMania in a big spot, right? Like that, right? Yes, like I'm all about creating new talents, new wrestlers, new everything, right? But at the same time, right, Charlotte does have somewhat of a history there with Rhea from a couple of years ago, right? Winning, again, they've been kind of back and forth, the last couple of years, during the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania season. And Rhea's been kind of at the top, and Charlotte, she's been out, so definitely has been interesting to see Rhea become the more dominant person in the female division, right? I mean, she is number one. She is mommy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Just because I mean, if you kind of think about it too, right? Rhea, when she challenged, she challenged Charlotte for the title and defeated her, and went on to just start having these amazing runs as a title holder and great feuds, good storylines cut. So it's like coming full circle now. Charlotte's the challenger and Rhea's on the top, as you were saying, and it'll be it's very interesting, but at the same time too, my daughter thinks that Charlotte Flair's a clone. Bro, she looks so different.
Yeah, I think the fact that she's kind of lost a lot of weight, man. When she first started, she looked a little more on the healthier side. She's obviously 10, 15 years younger. She started, I think, in her late 20s, early 30s, if I'm not correct on that.
Yeah, I think
she's a little bit older.
So here's a trigger thing for people, because I remember when I saw Charlotte's promo that she was entering the Rumble, I noticed that her facial shape kind of changed, and I was like, oh, I wonder if she pulled what China did, because I don't know if you remember, but China did have sort of a reconstruction done on her jawline because it was too masculine looking, and she had it changed to where it looked feminine. And I was just kind of joking around. I was just like, oh, maybe Charlotte did the same thing too, because she was kind of looking like her brother David Flair. But I mean, that's gonna trigger people who are just infatuated with Charlotte. But you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, Alexa Bliss's return, hey, great. You know what I mean? Some people felt bad. They were like, oh, it was overshadowed by Charlotte. But Alexa has had a kind of a small fallout with WWE. Contractual agreements weren't really happening, so I was surprised that she even showed up. But rumor has it she
heard
took
a lot of those
spot.
rumors were not true though. So I mean, there's speculation on what was going on there. That her lawyer was saying that she should negotiate a new contract. And
what was up with that? Because
the fact
I never heard that.
Injured, they technically it's they tack on time to your contract when you're out with injury, and that's not just injury, but she had a baby. I think it's
maternal leave.
Maternal leave. So I don't know how that works exactly, but I think it was just a bunch of BS just to kind of get rumors going. Because of that. And I'm glad if there was such a thing that she ended up just signing a new contract right away, or just
I mean, she took Shotzi's spot. Apparently, that's what they're saying, is that Shotzi was supposed to. Yeah, the Shotzi was supposed to be in the Rumble, and they didn't say why Shotzi was removed from the Rumble, but that's who replaced her was Alexa, according to what's flying around out there.
I don't think anyone missed Shotzi in the Rumble, but I think they could have used her instead of using one of the other NXT girls. But I'm kind of glad that they're trying to showcase some of the women from NXT also. And Shotzi, she's been kind of like a tweener. She's been going back and forth between the main roster and of course NXT. So Mill Hustle's in the
Where's
house.
Carmella?
Where's Carmella?
Who cares?
Who cares? Yeah, I mean, not to knock on her. Congratulations on her baby and Corey Graves, whatever.
Yeah, they're doing their thing. They're focusing on the family, which is something that I feel like that in the past during the Vinnie Mac era, they really didn't get too much time to be at home. So it was kind of shocking when when Alexa, she announced she was pregnant, she left for maternity leave, she was gone for a while, and I was like, wow, she was gone for a good length of time. Vinnie Mac really wouldn't approve of this. Thank God he's not there.
He's not there anymore, right? But yeah, I mean, I could understand why a lot of people are upset about Charlotte winning. Because it is kind of like a cliche, or I guess it's just something that we've seen the last 5-6 years already, where she gets injured, she comes back, they put her in the title picture, right? She gets injured, she comes back, she's instantly in the title picture. She doesn't have to wait in line, she doesn't have to do much. A lot of these other women have been busting their asses. Girls like Naomi, Bailey, who else? Sky, right? People who've been consistent, as far as working every single week on the PLEs, on the house shows, everything like that. And for Charlotte to just come back from injury like that, I get that. I can see why people are upset about that. But
I have a question for you, because I know a lot of people is like specifically looking at this, and we kind of just demonstrated what most fans are thinking too, where we just automatically put Charlotte and Rhea at WrestleMania. But what if that's not the case? What if Charlotte chooses Tiffany Stratton?
I mean, that could be the case. And the only way I see it changing is if Liv again gets involved with Rhea as far as the title picture goes, I guess, because that was kind of the feud of last year in the WWE as far as that women's world title picture goes, right? I mean, Nia dominated SmackDown for the most part, so I could see it happening, but at the same time, I don't think that it's gonna happen. I think that Rhea versus Charlotte is the bigger matchup. I think, I mean, just from a few years ago, that match kind of stole the show on night one. 2023. It wasn't the main event. I don't think it was the main event. Was it the main event of night one?
No, I don't think it was, but it did take a lot of it.
They did take it away, because I think that year it was the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. That year. Again, I could be wrong. Somebody correct me on this, but anyways,
I don't know. I see. So I have a different take on that, and the only reason why that I think that it's going to be a curveball, and we could actually see Charlotte confront Tiffany Stratton, only because Charlotte has, she has a lot under her belt, right? She's got a lot of notches on her belt. Yeah. If anything, it would be because we have Tiffy time, and we know how good Tiffany is in the ring, and how she's developed over time in WWE. It would just be kind of not a passing of the torch, but almost like the queen versus the one running up to try and take the throne type of thing. That's the only reason why I would see it that way. And then thus allowing somebody else different in the picture for the women's world heavyweight title, where Rhea would defend against somebody else, not Nia Jax, maybe somebody else that comes into the picture, or maybe Rhea drops her belt at Elimination Chamber. I mean, we don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's always a possibility. I don't know. I think the Elimination Chamber is now basically reserved for the people that want to get into that secondary title match, right? So I don't know. I mean, if we're going to see a title in the Elimination Chamber this year, it's off and on. They do it every couple of years, where they'll be okay, we're just going to throw the champion in the chamber anyways. F it, you know what I mean? But we'll see. Again, I just can't see Charlotte go for Tiffany Stratton. But I mean, blonde versus blonde. Technically, Rhea's a blonde, so it would still be blonde versus blonde.
Yeah, well, I mean, technically Rhea is a blonde. It was so sad too how she was asked to change her look because she looked too much like Charlotte, and it was like, oh man, are they forever always going to be on that comparison level going up to the top? So that's why even your thoughts of them facing off at Mania is plausible and the more likely outcome. But we'll see.
I believe so. I mean, but like you said, I mean, the way things have been booked, I mean, anything can happen at this point.
Because it was a curvebebing.
I mean, they can throw us a curveball. You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of people were expecting Bailey to win two back-to-back, right? She's been kind of in that high spot the last couple.
Well, no, I figured Charlotte was going to win when she announced it in the Rumble. But the rest of the night was curveballs.
Yeah, no, the rest of the night was curveballs, and we'll get into that. Mill Hustles has his opinions out here, but if Mill Hustles wanted to talk, he would have joined the stream. So,
I know. You know what I mean?
Screw that guy. Screw that. Yeah.
Where you at, Gil Heyman?
Where's Gil Heyman at? Yeah. Anyways,
it was good though.
any memorable spots for you as far as the women's, I guess, matchup goes before we move on to the next match?
Io Sky's time in the Rumble. I know she didn't have the longest time, but coming in at number one and how long she lasted in the Rumble,
Yeah,
and
her and Liv Morgan, were number one and number two, I believe, right? Um,
no, was it Liv Morgan? Yeah, it was Liv
that
Morgan.
was,
Yeah, it was both of them.
yeah, it was Liv Morgan. So yeah, I think Liv Morgan also lasted a pretty good amount of time, and she's been kind of the last 2-3 years. She's been kind of like the final, four, as far as the spot goes. I mean, just
He goes, you have to send a link for me to join.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
I think that somebody was working here, but I guess
I'm actually liking the idea that there might be a feud between Liv and Alexa. Honestly, since Alexa was eliminated by Liv.
It's a possibility. I love the Rumble because you see that it can always throw in all of these little feuds that can happen between WrestleMania, and a lot of drama happens. I'm gonna send Gil Heyman the link on X, so if Gil Heyman wants to join in, he can come in and
we're gonna get there, Gene. We're gonna get there. Yeah. We're going in order of matches. We'll get to the KO versus Cody, man. We'll get there.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah,
I don't have Gene here. He's in. Gene is in like Flynn. Gene should just join us on the panel one day.
I know, right? Yeah, one of these days. But anyways, yeah. I mean, again, my probably. I mean, I didn't typically have a favorite spot of the Rumble. I guess it was more the entrances, right? I mean, I feel like the female match was a little bit just like everywhere. It wasn't very organized as far as like the elimination goes, and you can kind of compare it to the men's Rumble. The men's Rumble, which we'll get into, definitely was a lot more exciting when it came to like spots and eliminations. And the women's match, it just seemed like there was just a lot of people in there at once, and then Nia Jax came in and she threw out half the people. Notables obviously are like Roxanne Perez, Jordan Grace as well, right? Coming over from TNA, she's officially all WWE, all World Wrestling Entertainment. So Jordan Grace, she's going to be a powerhouse. She's going to be a future champion. It's not if when, but it's not a matter if, it's a matter of when. Definitely excited to see what she has. And I hope that they don't stick her in NXT, but I mean, if they do, it's not going to be a very long NXT.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be very long in NXT that she would ride there. I'm ready to see her go against, like, honestly, see Jordan Grace go against Shayna Baszler. Honestly,
my favorite spots of the night were probably when like Stephanie Vaquer, made her entrance.
Oh yeah.
And the NXT Women's Champion Julia. I wasn't expecting Julia.
I wasn't expecting her either.
Yeah, I had already. I mean, there was already two other NXT girls, Jada Parker, and I forget the other girl's name. I wasn't expecting Julia after Stephanie, and then we still got.
Was it Lash Legend?
The little, yes, I think that Lash Legend there.
Yeah.
So then you had that little face to face with Io Sky and Julia.
Yes, that was
like the
awesome.
two dominant Japanese females in the division right now, which is pretty cool to see. I mean, with Asuka out and Kairi Sane out, I would love to see all of them as a group. And of course, it sucks that Dakota Kai also got injured right before the Rumble. It looks like we have a special guest in the house, guys. All right, let's go ahead and add the person in really quick.
Let's see how it's going to go.
We're shrinking. That's all good.
What up, Mr. Gil Heyman?
You hear us?
Well, what's going on, y'all? I didn't really watch the women's Rumble. I was
why?
I was late to it because it got busy at work for a moment.
Oh, you were at work when you were watching it.
Yeah, but I do have one comment. You said, what's her name? Alexa Bliss got eliminated by Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
If her, Alexa Bliss, and Dana Brooke were in the ring at the same time, I wouldn't be able to tell them apart.
I know, man. There is slight similarities between them that could just throw people off, but it'd be interesting to see them feud, though.
Short, blonde. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh yeah, but I mean, as far as Alexa Bliss's style goes, I mean, she was sporting, the black and the Fiend. She was wearing a tribute jacket, by the way.
Yeah.
I think in the back of it said "Fiend Forever."
Yep, and her skirt.
Her
skirt had a patch from the Fiend's tights. She took a piece of the tights and she sewed it onto her skirt.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Love the tribute. I think Alexa Bliss, she did get the loudest pop of the night. You know, I think her next to probably Trish Stratus got the biggest pops as far as like the female entrances go.
He bailed again. What the hell? We're gonna have ins and outs with Gil Heyman.
I was upset that AJ Lee didn't show up, but maybe 2026 we'll see. Anything can happen.
I hope so. At least one more time. You know.
Oh, what happened with Gil? Did he take off?
Yeah, I think he's just having technical issues. He'll pop back in. I guess we'll go to the next match then,
Next
right?
match, guys. Okay, so female Rumble again. It went over an hour, almost an hour and a half. Probably the longest in women's history, by the way.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But again, the next match, which a lot of people really were into, right? We could probably skip this match. Was the tag team championship match, which was DIY versus Motor City Machine Guns. It was the best 2 out of 3 falls match. DIY gets the win via, I believe it was
the Street Profits.
Yeah, the Street Profits kind of got in there and kind of interfered. And I don't know what's going on with the Street Profits. They've been kind of like tweeners as far as heel face go. You can tell that they have a more, I guess,
heel persona.
A mean persona and more attitude going in. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? I like that. Just that the tag division on both ends, Raw and SmackDown, they're just dead right now. I did like the idea that they brought the Motor City Machine Guns in a couple months back. You know, they won the championships right away, and then they lost them after about a month. But right now, just like again, there's not really a lot of story going on with the tag division, and there's only maybe like 3 or 4 tag teams on SmackDown anyway. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, when I saw the Street Profits come in and do what they did. I mean, they cost the Motor City Machine Guns. Obviously, they cost them the titles, and we can obviously tell why, right? I mean, there is this rivalry between the Street Profits and DIY. So it looks like that the Street Profits want to be the one to take the tag titles off of them. They have this heel persona going for them, which I think looks good. Honestly, I like this persona of them where they're not. So I like what you're saying about being in betweeners. Like, yeah, we definitely see that. What I see more of is just like, you know, now they don't care about getting over with the fans. They're not really a heel, even though they are kind of pushing that vibe. It's more of just like they're looking out for themselves primarily.
Oh yeah, which as a tag team, that they should be doing that. You know, I mean, ever since Bobby Lashley left the group, right, a couple months back. You know, now Bobby Lashley is a tag championship in AEW, but that's a whole different show. But anyways, you know, it wasn't a bad match. I just think they could have you know maybe threw in a mid card title match like with the IC title or even the United States Championship. The tag titles, I think the tag titles should have stayed on SmackDown as far as the match goes, or even a pre-show. Like I don't know why WWE.
Yeah, like a dark match.
I don't know why WWE doesn't do pre-shows anymore. Like pre-show matches, right? Get the fans, going and excited, right? That's the point of a pre-show, so that you can kind of get the fan and the audience, riled up. Getting them, to cheer and to boo, etc., like that. And even though the tag team titles are not very prestigious right now, I think down the line again, I think that's what they're working for. That we're going to get like some banger tag matches a little bit later on. But anyways, I definitely really have nothing else to comment on that specific match.
Yeah, I'm beyond that match.
I mean, again, shout out to the Motor City Machine Guns. But anyways, let's move on to the third match of the evening, which is for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. You have Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens, the son of a, I don't know, IT guy or something like that. I think that's what his shirt said.
Yeah, shout out to KO and Cody for putting on. In my opinion, it was a good match. It really was. I feel sorry for Cody though. Is it true that he got injured?
Oh yeah, there are some rumors in WWE announced. Again, I don't know. This was coming from the source WWE, so that apparently there is some injuries. I don't know how severe the injuries are. I think that will be announced maybe later on this week. I'm hoping it's not to the point where it's he's gonna have to drop the title before Mania, what happened with Rollins last year, where Rollins tore something in his leg, and he was pretty much out until Mania. and he was wrestling injured. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he ended up getting the surgery after the fact, and he was out for a couple months. Came back within like a very good amount of time, which is pretty crazy. So hopefully that's not the case for Cody. I wouldn't want to see something like that happen.
I think I'm praying, man. I'm praying that the injury is something that can kind of be rehabbed before Mania, which would be great because if whatever feud he enters in going to Mania, if he could rehab his injury and make it to Mania without having to actually wrestle, I think that would help, and it would kind of help just like start to build towards Mania. So we'll see what happens.
No, for sure. Looks like we got Bill Hustle's back in the house. What happened with UK?
Bullshit ass restream as always. I'm on a computer today. I'm on a computer like you suggested. Maybe it'll work this time.
I kind of like this angle.
Hear me?
You got I can hear you.
There you go. Since you guys are not using your cameras, I'll just go ahead and shrink you all a little bit.
Yeah, this works out great, man.
Yeah, it's a good look anyways. But yeah, man, so we're talking about the Cody and Kevin Owens match. Probably one of the better singles ladder matches that I've seen in the last couple of years. Definitely not like a lot of like big spots, but I mean, it was just kind of like a very gritty match, and between two guys that are just kind of hating on each other right now. Kevin Owens, obviously, he's been mega heel the past couple months. You know what I mean?
Where are we at now?
We're on the third match, so we kind of skipped over the tag team championship match.
Yeah, nobody cared about that.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, I had a quick comment I made before I was kicked off by this restream crap. I was telling Tito when you stepped away a second that, if you put Alexa Bliss, Dana Brooke, and what's her name, Liv Morgan in the ring, I couldn't tell them apart.
Yeah, Rhea. I'm sorry.
Hang on, I'll be right back. One sec.
So I would say the Alexa and Liv do resemble like each other a lot. I wouldn't throw like Rhea or whoever else, Dana Brooke, in that category. Ash by Elegance is what she goes by now, I think. Especially just because of the some of the chesticles that she has going on there. Some of these other girls are not that developed, if you know what I mean.
Hey, Vince liked them. Vince got them.
Vince liked them. He got them. Yeah. So yeah, man, it looks like Tito. He's still here, but he just had to step out really quick, guys. So yeah, man, we're on the
I am back.
There we go. The WWE Championship match again, guys. Any comments or
brutal?
Yeah.
I loved it.
Unnecessarily brutal.
It was a good brutal. This is what we needed, not only to just like have like a good WWE title defense, but also to kind of like just revive how dangerous a ladder match can be. Like what they did, I thought Cody was knocked out on that one bump he took off the turnbuckle. Like they were like checking his pulse and everything. I mean, the ref was selling it good, but I was just like, is he alive? Because he didn't move. Like I was looking to see if his chest was rising, and I couldn't tell if he was breathing or not. And then somebody said he's dead. And I was like, wait, what?
The fans are a little bit.
These guys I can't imagine how these guys woke up today. And if they were working under Vince, they'd be wrestling somewhere tonight, regardless of how banged up they are. It's like, that's fine. I get the dramatic stuff, but it's like, this is going to catch up to you, especially Kevin Owens.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just saying, bro.
Yeah, well, I mean, overall, I think the match, what it was, it needed to be. Like, just like I said, the grittiness, the toughness in it. Cody Rhodes kind of going a little unhinged, and especially with that promo that he had with Punk, leading into the match, right? Punk kind of throwing it out there, saying like, "Hey, I'm gonna."
I'm pretty sure that they're
gonna stab you in the front and not in the back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they're gonna wrestle at what's the next pay-per-view? Elimination Chamber.
Elimination Chamber. I don't know. Well, because usually they do Elimination Chamber in March, so I don't know if they're going to skip a PLE in February.
Oh, it's on March 1st, so it's exactly a month away from yesterday.
Yeah, I was going to say technically, okay. I was going to say I guess they already had their February pay-per-view, so yeah, I guess it'll be next month in Canada, right? I believe. So we'll see how that goes. I think that's gonna
KO versus Cody again. You'll see.
You think so? Man.
Oh yeah. And then if they're in Canada.
Well, at Elimination Chamber, yes, as far as that goes, but we'll see.
Like, if they're in Canada, what makes you think that they won't put the belt on Kevin for like one night?
I doubt it. It would just, to me, if they did that, that would be like a slap in the face to KO. Just add the belt for one night. Like if they're gonna put the belt on him in his home country, then he needs to run the title, not just like not do a Jey Uso thing, Intercontinental Champion for a small bit, and then gives it back to Braun Breaker. Like that would totally hurt him.
I can't wait till we get to that match because I'm gonna tell y'all what I think about that whole Jey Uso thing.
You love it, you know you do.
Yeah, we're getting into it, man. Let's not get there yet. Well, actually, that is the next match.
It's a love-hate thing, but I'll explain.
That is the next match, but we'll get into it, I guess. So yeah, I guess we do have a comment here.
But the last match though, I expected. I was expecting. What's his name? Sami Zayn to cost Cody the title. That would have been.
I was thinking that too, man. He had that look in his eye where it's just like you didn't know if a haluva kick was coming to Cody or not. Like it was just like, Sammy's on the side. What's going on? He's checking on both guys, and even to the point where I thought that KO got his neck broken for the way he landed from that Alabama slam, man, through the ladder, and his head was caught in the rung for a second. I thought he for sure hurt his neck.
Yeah, that fall definitely looked gruesome.
But I thought Sammy was going to get involved. Good thing he didn't, though, because I don't know. I'm tired of people doubting Sammy. Sammy just needs to do a heel turn.
It's like, if you're not going to come out and do something, why even come out?
Exactly. It just looks too weird. He's like checking on KO and he's checking on Cody, and you can tell Cody didn't give a crap. He even was walking away after his victory, decided to walk right back up to where KO was laid out, got on the announcer's table, raised both titles, and then he jotted something at Sammy. And just by Cody's expression, it wasn't like he was concerned for KO. It's just more like, if Sammy's gonna do something, do it type of thing. So I was like, what's happening here?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of disappointed that nothing happened there either, but I mean, it is what it is. You can't change it. I think that's what they wanted to go. Maybe they still want Sammy to be a little conflicted, right? And maybe we'll see that possible heel turn a little bit later on, or who knows? Maybe they're saving it for Mania. You know what I mean? So if it happens, we'll see what happens there, because a lot of people, they've been kind of going back and forth with Sammy. They're basically all just telling Sammy, hey, you don't have it. You're not good enough to be a world champion, right? So what if Sammy, takes that, and runs with it, a little bit later on.
A little bit of possibility. Is it cool if I take this question here?
Yeah, go for it. I poked it up there.
Do you think Bo Dallas will bring back the Fiend and the Firefly Funhouse? I don't think he'll bring back the Firefly Funhouse. If they don't do something really fast with the Wyatts, that's a dead faction and a dead story, because I don't get what they did with them. And maybe we'll talk about this in another episode. We'll go more deep dived into it, but just what they did, where they feuded with the Final Testament and then they jumped to SmackDown. Then we haven't seen them then, and now there's all these talks, rumors of Bo left the group and left the company. We don't know, but I would say if he does bring back the Fiend, it's going to be on like a momentous occasion. I don't think it'll be like a permanent thing that he does do. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have too much comment there. I don't think they'll bring back the Fiend in any capacity. I don't think, but I mean, I just can't see, Bo Dallas or Uncle Howdy, transitioning from whatever he is now to that, right? I think it's just
I would say Alexa. I would say if they did it to anybody, it would be Alexa.
I had no idea that Bo Dallas there was a rumor of him leaving.
Yeah, it's been circulating a lot. Like in my Google feed, there's always this article from different websites, and they're like, Uncle Howdy's supposed to leave the Wyatt Six and leave them on their own, and he's gone, and all this other stuff. But it's like we don't know, because we don't know what they have planned for them. I mean, they just completely blipped off the radar after being said that they transferred from Raw to SmackDown.
I mean, remember when we talked about them? As far as I remember, I think I wanted them to succeed, but I said they were going to have a very hard time. If I remember correctly, I don't remember. So.
No, I remember that conversation correctly, and that's where I say that I have to give it to you that you were correct on that one 100%, because the one thing you did say in our conversation was that they need to book them right. And the way that they were developing them, you were already starting to kind of like call out the kinks, right? Like, why unmask them so early? And, why are they feuding with these people? And they're probably going to get booked badly. And yeah, I mean, they got booked with the Final Testament, which didn't draw any attention. I mean, the best we can say so far with the Wyatt Six was that they had a fun feud with American Made / Alpha Academy at one point. And that was it.
Speaking of the Final Testament, was anybody in that faction in the Royal Rumble?
No.
No.
Not even Karrion Kross.
Gracious.
Yeah. I was expecting Karrion, actually, but instead we got Speed, that YouTube guy.
What the? I'm sorry. Excuse my language. What the fuck, man? Leave these guys out of it. Like,
Yeah.
the only point that I thought Speed looked good in that ring, and I mean he really looked good in that ring, was selling the spear from Braun.
I don't understand. I have never understood these celebrity things with the WWE because it has never, that I can remember, it has never benefited either side. It's like, why? Always these people, why? Celebrities have not worked in WWE since the 80s. That was the last time they actually worked.
I mean, didn't they learn from WCW days? Like when what's his name from fucking Scream won the World Heavyweight title?
Oh, David Arquette.
Yeah.
Hey, David Arquette was OG, man. He's the best.
But you know what? They did it for attention, and they didn't get the right attention.
Yeah.
Nope.
They didn't make them draw no money. Like I think that celebrities should not be involved in wrestling. It doesn't do shit for either side.
I don't know. I don't think it's something that's ever going to go away. It may not happen every year, but we're still going to continue to see, your Bad Bunnies, your Stephen Amell's, right? Amell was there in the crowd.
Bad Bunny, who's one of the most popular artists in the world, when he was on Raw, that did not give them a ratings bump. That didn't give them, get them more subscribers on Peacock. You know what I mean? Like.
I still enjoyed the match between him and Damian Priest. I think that was a super over fucking match.
Oh yeah, it was a fun match. I mean, there's times where like you want the good storylines and the good matches from those storylines produced, but sometimes you just want a good fun match. You know what I mean? Like I'm waiting for when they book Rey Mysterio and Penta to go at it. Like,
oh yeah, well we got a glimpse of that at the Rumble this year.
We didn't get a good enough one though. Like I was like, they're both luchadors. They could have went. They could have gone to go.
Okay, let's get into the men's Rumble now. So
look, with Penta and Rey Mysterio, I'm not excited because I've seen them wrestle a ton of times.
Yeah.
That's just me though.
Okay.
Just go look up their wrestling matches in Lucha Underground.
But when I saw him interact Penta with what's his name, Nakamura, for example.
Oh yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you see a lot of angles that can be cut from this, right? Even Santos Escobar and Penta and the moments they had in the ring, for if you were watching the background and not focusing on specific people.
Oh no, yeah, and then also Penta and Dominic
Andrade. Yeah, Penta, Andrade, freaking Dominic.
There's a lot of history between some of those guys also, so you have to consider.
It would be great. It would be great.
Have wrestled against Penta. But the thing is, the casual fan, or especially the kids, right? The kids of this generation, they don't know, because it's not like they're out there researching all of these guys' matches and whatnot. These people are new to them, So I mean, I'm just hoping for good storylines, and again, we still have that Penta Braun Breaker kind of thing going. Possibly.
Yep.
Hopefully that can play out for Mania this year.
They need to let Penta be like he used to be in Lucha Underground and on the Indies. They just let him cuss in Spanish. Just let him loose.
Yeah, I mean, Vinnie Mac's not there, so you know what? This could work if they let him. I mean, I'm starting to see some slight changes in just some of the moves that they were allowing back into WWE to be done that they didn't allow before. Just when Vince was really on that level of like, we're gonna ground high flyers, we're gonna do all these weirdness. It's just like, cut them loose, let them go. You know what I mean? Let the luchadors be what they are and do what they do.
I mean, they can. I don't have a problem with the luchadors flying, but certain moves, like I don't feel comfortable watching them. That's one thing I agree with Vince on.
If you're talking about like the back and forth stuff that absolutely has no merit other than flashiness, then yeah, I get what you're saying.
Here's the thing: like, if you compare the WWE to any other company that's around right now, they could do these just crazy moves that you'll never use in a real fight, by the way.
Yeah.
But their schedule wasn't what WWE's was.
Yeah.
So they were forced to work a safer style, because if you wrestle like Kenny Omega does on a WWE schedule, you're gonna be shelved after a few days.
Yeah.
No,
Anyways, we're in the men's rumble. So a little bit fast paced, right? The rumble was a lot more fast paced compared to the women's rumble. There were some slowdown spots when we had actual like people that talent that they knew fans were looking out for, right? Like they were looking to see if CM Punk would win, or if Roman would win, Jacob Fatu if he would win. So when those men were out, it seems like the pace slowed down. But to get like the mid card guys in there just to be tossed around, slammed around, tossed over the top rope, they kind of went quick through that. What were your guys' favorite spots?
Well, I think the beginning of the match, Penta versus Rey Mysterio, we got to see a little bit of that. And I don't care what anybody says, Penta fucked up and he got eliminated right away, man. I don't know if you guys caught that or not, but basically,
yeah, both feet touched the ground.
Down and they're like, "Oh no, we fucked up!" Like they fucked up.
It happens. What that happened to The Rock in the year 2000?
Yeah. So
you remember that?
Yeah, but
I remember that.
It was pretty obvious, and obviously they didn't show the replay. But I'm just like, bro, anyone fucking watching, like, it was a wide angle shot. You know what I mean? Of him hitting the ground, and they're like, oh, fuck,
Butterflies for him, right? His first Royal Rumble. I mean, maybe he went after the fact. He probably went to Michael Hickenbottom and said, "Hey, man, how'd you do that thing with the Bulldog?" And got some tips. Next time, only one foot could touch the ground, and you're good. Yes, this was Penta's first Rumble, man. He just debuted a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I know, but still, I think that.
Oh no, I was answering Gene.
We could have discussed that spot a little bit better. I know that Ray and Penta are veteran high flyers and stuff like that. But man, don't do that. When there's just two guys in the ring, especially starting out. Like, wait until at least there's one or two other people. Get the crowd going a little more. I get it, but still, it's like I was just like, no, dude, they couldn't have fucked this up that badly. So.
I got a question for y'all. Name a superstar that was there that should not have been there, that somebody else should have been there. I'll name one off the top. Miz.
Miz?
Why are you here, dude? I saw the Miz, and that's the
question. Wait.
Why are you here?
Isn't Miz part of the Final Testament now? Now that he kind of rolls, he's just a lackey.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So Final Testament stayed on Raw. Miz got traded to SmackDown in that little window. So Miz is on his own current.
Yeah. Why was he there? Why did they do that spot with Akira Tozawa? That guy should have been released years ago.
I know, and I mean they gave Speed his spot. It was weird. It was like it was funnier when it happened to R-Truth, because he got his revenge on Nia. But to do that and then throw in a YouTuber to take his spot, like
was R-Truth in the Women's Rumble at all?
No, he wasn't, which is sad.
There's another missed opportunity.
No Kofi Kingston this year with his acrobatic, weird saves. I mean, Logan Paul did a weird save, copying Kofi.
Oh yeah, I guess but he pulled it off. I know Kofi always fucking fails when he does his. At least Paul, he has the capability of jumping from like the table to back to the ring.
And I'll declare this right now as to like people on social media saying it, but I'm actually kind of happy that we didn't get an Undertaker spot. We didn't get a Kane spot. Honestly, it would have hyped it up. It would have had a nice pop, but I think that's all it would have been. And I don't think it would have really gave anything more to the Rumble, because there were people who were seriously believing that John Cena was going to win. Yeah. And he came close.
And you know what? I'm glad he didn't win.
Why?
Because that guy's done everything except win the Intercontinental title.
He's trying to break Flair's record.
Oh, well, I hope he doesn't.
He's got to win the Rumble.
It's the same thing with Charlotte Flair winning the women's rumble. Why? She's accomplished everything. These girls have had the fucking belts 15 times. What they could have gave that. They should. Who else could they have given that win to?
That's a good question.
Let's talk about notables, guys, in the match. I know we're talking about it, right? We still got a little bit of time left here on the clock.
Go for it.
I think if Cena would have won, they would have booed him out of the building.
I don't think so.
I don't think they would.
I disagree. I think Indianapolis would have popped for him, but anyways, aside from Cena, right? Let's talk about other people that were in the Rumble, right? So notables, right? Joe Hendry.
Yes!
Number 15.
I exploded in the room with screens when Joe.
I got to see Joe Hendry last Friday. Obviously I was at for the TNA tapings, and I think I got to see him wrestle. Also, they had several segments because I think they were taping 2 shows, but I was like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, I had never really paid attention to him, but I can see the why he's popular, etc. like that. So I think he did challenge John Cena for the TNA championship or something. Yeah,
now that would be good. What if John Cena showed up in TNA and beat him?
It's possible.
Oh man,
you know what that would do for TNA?
Blow it up, man, honestly.
It'd be crazy if that happened, because if Cena capturing the TNA Heavyweight Championship would be like a slap to Flair, because I don't think Flair was in TNA, but he never won gold there because he was more management.
He barely wrestled too, but
yeah, he was more management. So it would be like,
if I had a chance to get John Cena in TNA, I would turn him heel. I would finally turn him heel.
It would be cool. It would work because people would see him as the WWE guy. So taking the TNA title.
Look at Gene over here saying Cena is retiring. Give it up, people. This was his last Rumble.
Oh, come on, Gene. You can't be that on him, man.
Hey, so other notables, Jacob Fatu. What did you guys think about Jacob?
Oh man, I seriously thought I thought he was going to be one of the final 5 or 4. Yeah. Honestly, I really thought he was. I mean, super dominant in that match, and just every time he got hit with the cold one, you just see him just not even flinch and just give that slow stare at them like, you done fucked up. And I was like, oh man, could we even see Jacob Fatu take it? I mean, yeah, a Fatu did win.
Yeah, right. Which is funny.
Make him look good.
Because I saw a clip going around online. It was showing Jacob Fatu in the crowd at last year's Rumble. Right, he was actually supporting Jimmy and Jay, and he was in the crowd last year at the 2024 Rumble. And it's crazy how fast, how much stuff can happen within a year, right? Especially in the wrestling world, right? Oh yeah. So for him to be going as Solo's little sidekick over here now, to him, kind of being unleashed, so to speak, right? That little promo that him and Damian Priest had this Friday night on SmackDown. I'm like, damn, bro, I kind of like what I'm seeing. I like the toughness and the what do they call it in Spanish? Chingazos, I guess. I don't know. A lot of cool stuff happening right now.
He could win 2026 Rumble, man. I could clearly see Jacob being the front runner to being chosen to win the Rumble next year. He did really good. It was never a dull moment with him. I mean, everything was just kind of lit up. Not as bad as when Logan Paul came out there and whatnot. I mean, Logan Paul got backstage heat.
Logan Paul with.
What did this guy say?
Because I know you're not a fan of Logan, so who would you have replaced him with?
Oh man, I would have replaced him with Hornswoggle. I would have replaced him with anybody, man. Really. This guy, Byron says Logan Paul got backstage heat for going into business for himself. Uh-oh. Really?
I didn't know that. I know that Drew McIntyre was upset about something, allegedly. I don't believe it, but
I believe
he was mad at everything.
I just think he's a good actor.
Drew is upset. He's no longer the chosen one.
What a horrible. What a horrible accent. But anyways, other notables in the Rumble, guys. AJ Styles returns, and he came back.
Yeah.
With his
You know what?
music.
I love AJ Styles, but I don't think he's long for this world. I think he's going to be retiring soon.
Oh man,
because he's been talking about it a lot recently.
Yeah.
Well, he has accomplished quite a bit though. I mean, if you think about it, not just in WWE, and for people that don't know, when he was in the indie scene, I mean, it was funny. A friend of mine didn't even know that on the last night of WCW, AJ actually was in a match, in a tag team match. He was known as Airman Styles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
AJ Styles and Air Paris.
Yeah.
You know what though? Honestly, this is what I think. I don't think that AJ's going to renew his next contract, and we'll see him in AEW and
no.
That's where he'll probably hang it up.
I disagree. I mean,
I think his friends will talk him into it.
Doing more NXT TNA stuff than him going to AEW and New Japan.
I don't see him going to TNA. He hates TNA.
In front of 200 people, bro. Like it's
the what?
Simple as he does not want to be wrestling in front of 200 people. It's as simple as that.
You mean to tell me you believe he's going to All Elote Wrapped?
I'm sure he would.
I don't think so.
I'm sure he would. I'm sure that Tony Khan would pay him up the nose, especially considering all his friends run the company. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We got Desmond Lewis in the house.
Everybody has a price. Everybody has a price.
That is true. That is true. Ted DiBiase didn't tell no lies.
Nope, but I 100% believe if Tony Khan offered him a deal, he would take it.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
Okay, let's get back to the Rumble, guys. So, anyway, so I think probably the second half of the men's Rumble was the most exciting because once you saw Roman Reigns, John Cena, and CM Punk like literally back to back, the fans were fucking marking out hard, and so was I. I was like, holy shit! Go follow the Deathlock podcast on TikTok, and you'll hear my reaction. I was recording entrances. I was like, I'm gonna record, when Cena comes out. Or when Reigns comes out, obviously, and there was a lot of big pops. So I thought that was very fun for the crowd, and it got the everyone excited because I mean look at the face-offs, right? You have CM Punk and Cena, you have again Cena and Reigns again, you have Reigns and again CM Punk. Man, it's just a lot of
that was a great moment. I love that moment when it was just all stares and it was like rivalries renewed.
Basically.
Oh man. Damn.
Before Seth Rollins got into the ring, because fuck Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins is in a world of shit now. People really want to know what that all was about. I mean, I thought he hated Punk more than Reigns. I guess not.
Man. I guess not. He fucking went after fucking Roman.
He curb stomped him twice.
Yeah, and he double stomped him with 2 feet at one point. I was like, what the fuck is this? You know what I mean?
That's all I saw was Rollins unhinged.
Yeah, Rollins unhinged. So I mean. A lot of people were upset.
I mean, I think that the storyline will go that Rollins hates Reigns even more than Punk because they were connected at once. And you remember the Roman Reigns reign of terror.
Yeah.
Everybody got hit.
2021 and 2022.
And now he's trying to make it right. You know what I mean? Like I predict that Seth Rollins will show up on SmackDown and say, this Roman Reigns, this good guy, he's not who y'all think he is, blah, blah, blah.
Probably.
That double stomp did look crazy, though.
Pretty nuts, yeah. I was like, wow, what the hell did Rollins just do, man? But yeah, those spots leading up to the end were pretty crazy. Like, I don't know if you want to go over that or what.
I didn't. Honestly, I'll tell you right now, this is why I said that the Royal Rumble 2025 officially curveball. Honestly, I had no feeling, and I'm pretty good at judging these things of getting an idea of who might be getting the win. Had no idea it was going to be Jay until it was finally down to Cena and Jay. And even then, I didn't know 100% Jay would get it.
Yeah, I didn't expect it either. I was kind of pissed off that Logan Paul was like one of the last 3, but I knew he wasn't going to win.
Okay.
I honestly thought it was going to be Logan Paul and Cena at the end, and I was going to be like, no, like this can't fucking happen. You know what I mean? So I was just like, it was a little shocking because I didn't see it being Jay because Jay just came off a world heavyweight title match. You know what I mean? And he lost clean to Gunther, so I just didn't really see why they would go and do that. But again, guys, like he is super over with the crowd and the young. Like when I went to that San Antonio show, guys, last week, I saw only Yeet shirts. You know what I mean? Yes, I saw the other wrestling T-shirts, but the younger kids were all wearing Yeet shirts. A lot of the the people in their early 20s, all the older generation also were wearing. Even the guys that I went with, one of my buddies, he was wearing a Yeet shirt also. So
what did you wear?
I was wearing a San Antonio 316 shirt that I got at the Rumble 2023. So it was
nice.
But it said San Antonio 316. So and I was kind of I was gonna wear my Punk shirt, but I was like, Punk's not even gonna be here, so I don't fuck wear that. It was cold that night, so I was wearing a sweater anyway. You couldn't see me.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah.
But anyways, it was very it was a fun show, and a lot of people crapped on Saturday night main event. But if you were there in San Antonio with 16,000+ people at the Frostbag Center, man, the fucking crowd was lit, dude.
Hey, tell us the truth. When Jay was out, you did the Yeet dance, right?
Oh yeah, he came out on the side that I was at. He was like maybe like a few sections off from where I was sitting. Like and literally like the guys that I was sitting next to, they went to the restroom before the match, and they said that they saw him like out there like in the concession area getting ready for it.
Have you watched that episode yet to look for yourself?
Nuh-uh.
No, I mean I at one point during I think it was the Cody and the Kevin Owens promo, I think I was like flashing my cell phone light in the background. You could see it a little bit, but I saw it on the screen because I was looking up at the little Titantron screen that they have there.
Yeah.
And I see myself, but you can barely fucking see it. So I was just like, yeah, okay, I don't really care. Like it is.
I have not been to a WWE live event since 1991 or 1992. Okay.
Oh man, dude, you need to go back. Go to Vegas.
Do they do an intermission?
They for commercials basically. Hold on, give me 1 second. That's all.
At least for like when SmackDown was here in Phoenix and I went to that, they intermission no, but like he was saying, like when there was commercial spots, like we would see the commercial on the Titantron, they would dim the lights in the arena during the commercial spots, but then like one of the announcers would like announce something to the live crowd while the commercial was playing on the live air for TV. So that's mostly what I saw at SmackDown here when I went.
Yeah, so for me, like the only thing that I did notice is like entrances, right? So like they would do like someone's entrance and then they would cut to commercial and they would stop the music.
Yep.
And then like right before the commercial would come back, they would start playing the music again.
Yep.
And that was it basically. But they didn't really have like any intermission. It was a 2-hour show, so we did have like one pre-show match. I think it was like LA Knight versus I forgot who. So we did get a pre-show match, but that was basically it. Like it wasn't very like. It was pretty straightforward, even though it was only 4 matches. Like, it was still a fun show.
Yep. But to the Rumble, congratulations to Jey Uso for winning the 2025 Royal Rumble. Did you guys know that there was a new thing added to the Rumble?
Oh yeah, the what is it called? The lower thirds with
yeah.
The I love that. I was like, why haven't they fucking done this like the entire time?
Yeah. I was like, it was so great because like when my daughter was like, how many people were eliminated? I didn't have to start counting in my head who got eliminated. I could see at the bottom 4 eliminations, and then it would show you the times of like the longest running person currently in the Rumble and how long they've been in the Rumble. And I was like, that's great. They need to continue that for the next Rumble and going forward because that just.
I'm sure they will. That's probably a TKO thing since they also own the UFC.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let me circle back to Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes. That felt like a MMA fight, the intro.
Oh yeah.
The influence is definitely there, and then with all those little stats, that was cool.
Yeah, that was. I mean, overall, like the Royal Rumble this year, I thought did and delivered very good. Minus the DIY Motor City Machine Guns match. The majority of it was just it was there. It kept me at the edge of my seat and had me yelling and screaming at the TV.
So yeah, guys, I do have to throw out, before we finish off, right? A lot of other wrestling podcasters are upset, and not just podcasters, but a lot of the IWC is upset that Jey Uso won.
Why?
And not just Jey Uso, obviously Charlotte also, right? But a lot of them are upset because they feel like that he wasn't built very well as far as like he's been losing a lot of his matches, right? He wasn't Intercontinental Champion that long. He lost clean to Gunther. He's been losing pretty much the entire way up until the Rumble, right? I get the popularity.
But we know why he lost the Intercontinental title, though. We know why they took the belt off him.
But he hasn't looked weak. That's the thing. He hasn't looked weak, so it's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, but okay. So why do you think some people are upset about it though? Like, what,
I
like,
think people wanted to. I think it to me, I feel like it's because of the whole Cinderella story that Punk is painting right now. I mean, that honestly, my pick for the Rumble, I'll tell you guys honestly, was CM Punk. Like, I wanted to see him win the Rumble, and I wanted to see him main event WrestleMania at least once in his career. And I think a lot of people were kind of shifting on that back of momentum, or they were shifting to Drew, or they were shifting to Seth, or even Roman. People want to see Roman win to get his title back from Cody, and it's like everybody did not see Jay. I'm sure there's hardly anyone that even had a guess that Jay Uso was going to win. And I think that's what really hits the stomach for a lot of them, was they couldn't call it.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
Understandable, right? I think a lot of people are upset also because, it's obviously Cena's last year. It's his, farewell tour, whatever you want to call it. And he lost, right? But at the same time, why make it easy for Cena? Not that, him losing or winning the Royal Rumble would be easy, right? But I think if you guys watched the post interview for the Rumble, they interviewed Cena, and Cena basically declared saying like, I've always known what's best for business, but he's like, I want number 17. He's like, and he fucking declared, I'm gonna win the Elimination Chamber, and I am gonna headline WrestleMania. He said. So I was like, okay, like there's a different, John
Do you
Cena.
think, like,
before he's been the,
I
guy
did
that everything that
every year, pretty much every year, I have a prediction for who might win the Rumble. I didn't have one this year.
No,
I could not select who. I said, well, I'm not gonna lie. I said maybe Drew McIntyre might win.
I think Drew McIntyre was gonna win.
But no, I had no idea Jay would win. That's cool. I like surprises like that.
Yeah, I was a little upset with Drew McIntyre and his momentum in the Rumble because he had like a lot of good things going on leading up to the Rumble, getting in everybody's heads, and I thought he was gonna fuck over a few of the talents, right? I was like, oh man, watch Drew McIntyre fucking eliminate CM Punk, or again John Cena or somebody big like that, right? It would have like he would have got so much heat, you know what I mean? For that, and for him to get eliminated by, I don't even know who the hell he got eliminated by. Who was it?
He got Damian Priest.
So like a lot of people are said that that's going to be the match going in at WrestleMania for them too. But I'm like, I don't think so. I think
hell, he could have won.
Jacob.
But who do you think Cena faces at WrestleMania if his prediction comes true? I think he goes against Gunther.
I was gonna say it really depends on who Jey Uso picks because a lot of people think he's gonna go for Gunther, but I think he's gonna go for Cody.
Yeah,
he's gonna go for Cody.
That's what I would prefer. Him versus Cody.
Yeah, because to me it just looks better. Like WWE, Universal title, undisputed title. That is the title that they should all be going for.
Cody does not need to wrestle until WrestleMania. He needs to get healed up.
Plus, too, it would be a full circle thing, right? Because Cody, after Jay left the Bloodline, Cody pretty much had his back, brought him to Raw, and was like, always side by side with Jay, trying to help him rebuild relationships. So, what a better way to finish it than to have Jay go against Cody for the WWE Undisputed title? I mean, that's just where I would see him going on that.
All right, so now that we're here, I'm going to tell you why I'm glad that Jey Uso won. Because Jey Uso is the ultimate underdog. He's been the ultimate underdog since Roman first turned heel. You remember when they were feuding before he submitted to Roman? Yep. And everybody is doubting him. People have mixed feelings about him. That makes the perfect the perfect booking decision, And he's going to have a target on his back like Rey Mysterio did when he won the Rumble.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I don't think he's going to win the title at WrestleMania, regardless of who he faces. But I think that him chasing the title, that's where the money is. Because after he wins the title, which I think he eventually will, it's like, okay, what's next? Yep. You know what I mean? I've always thought that some wrestlers don't need a title, and some wrestlers that get a title, it hurts them.
It does. I agree there that, once they actually do win the title, that it's very hard for them to stay relevant because, the fans are the ones that really have to back you as champion, right? And if they can't back you as champion, then it's not going to last very long. I mean, we've seen that with many talents in the past. So I'm interested to see what happens. I'm favoring him going for Cody. I don't really care to see him versus Gunther again. But if there is something that happens, I think there's going to be some sort of like mayhem between Punk, Rollins, Reigns, and CM Punk. Right? I think that's going to be the big story leading into Mania, and I think that the title picture is going to kind of be like a little bit of all of it this year.
I got another prediction. Elimination Chamber. How many people is it? 5 or 6?
4 or 5? How many? 6.
Yeah, 6.
All right. Roman, Rollins, Punk, McIntyre, and 2 more people. Add 2 more people that'll be in that. I'll go ahead and throw Logan Paul in there.
Yeah, more likely Logan Paul will be in it.
that boxing match.
Cena. Did I say Cena?
It's got to be Cena. So it's got to be Cena, Rollins, Roman Reigns, Punk, and then 2 other people, right? I would probably throw in. No, I wouldn't throw Braun Breaker in. I would probably throw in a few ex-World Heavyweight Champions. So I'm trying to think of a few names here. Like, who the hell's relevant? Maybe guys like Sheamus or I
don't know. I think it's going to be Cena, Reigns, Rollins, Punk, Paul, and McIntyre. Yeah,
McIntyre would be one of them, I think, because again, there's a lot of history there with what's been happening. Maybe Jacob Fatu. He might be the 6th guy going in there, or maybe a Damian Priest. I don't see it happening though, but we'll see.
Well, I do know that we're kind of hitting our time here, but I do want to make one prediction though. That has to do with after Mania. If Jay, or when Jay wins the big one, he wins the title. I say prediction: first person to go after that title and go against him, Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
That's who I see. Here's
a question I got for you. Who do you think? Do you think that Cody will be a babyface going into WrestleMania or a heel?
I think he's going to be more of like an in-betweener. Heel tendencies, tired.
Well, here's the thing. I think that if Cody turns heel, he'll do it at WrestleMania. I think that he'll do some he'll start cheating, like kind of like in Austin versus Rock at 17.
Yeah.
So I think he'll do something like that where he'll start. You know what I mean? Like somebody that's not his that is not his friend will come out to help him.
Maybe we'll have to see, but we'll have to continue this for another time.
We gotta jump off already, but anyways, any final thoughts, fellas? Again, I don't have any predictions right now as far as WrestleMania goes. We can save that for maybe after.
I'm free this week, so when's your next day off?
Technically Tuesday and Thursday, so I'll follow up with you. Maybe we can do a Raw review or something like that on Tuesday if I end up staying.
When are the matches for the Elimination Chamber supposed to start?
Like you talk about to qualify for it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, starting tomorrow, man. They're gonna start having them.
Yeah, I don't know if they're even gonna have qualifiers though. I think they're gonna have a men's and a women's elimination chamber match. That's obvious.
Well, Paul said that Cena didn't have to qualify for it, so I think there is gonna be qualification matches, but Cena doesn't have to compete to qualify.
Well, Ray shouldn't have to fucking qualify either because he's the fucking tribal chief. So I mean, we'll see how that goes. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't think they're gonna have to qualify for it. Maybe like the final 2 spots, maybe. But I think the at least 4 or 5 of the spots are gonna go to like those main guys, Rollins, Punk. Again, the other 2 guys.
Curveballs. They may throw Eugene in there.
Right. They're gonna bring back I don't know, Hornswoggle, like you said.
Hornswoggle and Eugene are the 2 unannounced that are gonna be in the elimination chamber.
The only wild card I think is gonna be Logan Paul, but I think I'll be right about every other person.
Because he has that boxing match with his brother in March. So I just don't think
he's really gonna box his brother.
Yeah. Yep.
Fucking lame as hell, man.
I thought he was done with that shit. I thought he was gonna.
That's what I thought. I thought he was a WWE pro wrestler. He made it to the big times. He's half in, half out. That's why I don't. Honestly, that is the reason why I don't take Logan Paul serious. Until I see that he is serious about WWE, is when he will have my support. But if he's just half-ass, arrogant piece of shit, I don't want nothing to do with him. Get him out of there.
I guess we'll see what's up, fellas. So again, any final thoughts before we head out tonight?
I'm glad to be here. I'm happy we were able to get this done, man.
All right, and I'm happy that both of you were able to tune in tonight. Again, I'm glad you got back on for your trip safe, Tito. And Mill Hustles, I know you're working, so again, don't work too hard, man, overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeet.
Yeet. Yeet.
Yeet.
Oh, God. Are we yeeters or are we saying you? You.
Oh yeah, that was a good spot.
Oh yeah, the yeet. Yeah, you already know. But all right, guys, we'll go ahead and close it out today for the Royal Rumble Review 2025. Again, tune in to the next episode of the DLP as we go over Raw or possibly SmackDown review. So again, you guys have a great evening. We'll see you guys next time.
Later.
Peace.